And there was three things that drove me to creating the structures that I did, being solar-powered facilities. And I want to go over these because they're important, and I want you to know where I'm coming from. So the first was geopolitics. This is from the Winning the Oil Endgame. This quote: "The aim of the OPEC cartel is to constrain supply and therefore force others to produce high-cost oil first, then sell the cartel's cheap oil for that higher price, and by depleting others' oil first, make buyers even more dependent on cartel later." That got me thinking, America is so dependent on oil. And you've all heard we were addicted to oil, but I got thinking, you know, we can't continue down this road. So that was one of the factors, and that's the geopolitics of it. All six presidents since 1975 had stated that oil is a bad thing. Oil trade imbalance since the mid-70s has caused us nothing but problems. It limits our military performance, finances radical Muslim terrorism, constrains our economy, and because of oil, we're involved with global conflicts that never seem to end. And so the second thing that drove me to doing the projects I did was the economy and the addiction to oil, which is bad for our economy. Think of the costs not captured in the cost of oil: healthcare costs, pollution, climate costs, and greenhouse gases. We spend more than $200 million a year buying oil from other nations. Spending our energy dollars in America is a much better option. And that led me to number three, having all the unique opportunities I had to travel around the southwestern United States. And that was climate change. And when people ask me about climate change and global warming, I immediately turned off, and I do not want to talk about it. It's not because I don't believe in it. It's because it's an old conversation that, in my opinion, died 10 years ago. We should be beyond that. If you can't see the polar ice caps melting, then either you're blind or you really don't believe that something is happening right before your eyes. And I'll never convince you. So climate change, as I traveled throughout the western US, one of the unique areas that I went was on the north rim of the Grand Canyon. On the north rim, when we first started our adventure travel business up there, the forest was open all the time, and then it started closing. Year after year, our tours would be canceled, and it was because of fire danger. And then I finally said to the forest ranger, I'm like, look, what is going on here? He said, this is something we've never seen in the history of the United States Forest Service. We are seeing our national forests close and catch on fire like we've never seen before. And that